Okay, so what you're doing, you're not being transparent. You're talking and telling the people who are paying any attention what you think they want to hear. You're telling them about the results, the good, the wins. Transparency, you got to show both ways. You have to show the bad. If everything's always so good, you're just going to fall in line with everyone else. I'll tell you who stands out. People who are willing to be so transparent that they share the whole hand, so to speak. They show all of their cards, the wins, the losses, the vulnerabilities, the insecurities. If you start sharing and being completely wide open, that's when you're going to notice a better result. Everyone has insecurities. Everyone has vulnerabilities. Everyone. That's being human. That's being real. People aren't looking for information anymore. Information's free and it's everywhere. People are looking for those who they believe can help them and those who they can connect with. And I promise you, if you're constantly just talking about your wins, no one's going to connect with that. You show people that you've been or can currently find yourself back to where they currently are, and you can take them from where they're at to where they're going. That's what people are going to connect with. So if your competitors want to use your realness against you, let them. I have no problem with that. If they want to paint the picture that they're constantly perfect, they're never going to grow. They're never going to escape the realm of being this perfect little, everyone's going to wonder about them. Where with you, if you're real, you're going to grab people where they're at. There's a saying where if you were walking down the beach and you were walking along, you heard someone out in the ocean, they were screaming for help. Would you stand on the edge saying, I have a rope, come swim over here, walk yourself on the beach and get it? Or would you drag that rope out, swim to them, no matter how great of a swimmer you are, wrap that rope around their waist and yank them out of the ocean, right? That is what I'm talking about. That is going to where they're at. Talking to them in the moment of where they're at. Helping them understand that you have that solution. That you understand exactly how to help them. And then you don't just tell them how, you literally show them. I struggled at first to be transparent. I like to say I was more translucent because I thought I was sharing what I thought others wanted to know about me, wanted to hear from me. But the truth of the matter is, everyone's selling the $1 million lifestyle, the $1 million dream, this, that, and the other. Very few people are truly selling the path to get there. And what if for a second, instead of you being the result, you become the conduit to the result. You become the pathway to the result. And the only way that you can be a pathway to the result is showing them that you know where they're at and how to take them to where they're going to be. If you're afraid that people won't relate to what you're doing, imagine if you were just showing them the result. Trust me, telling your full story is polarizing. It is not just one way. It's not something that everyone's going to connect to. That's not what this is. Being polarizing and being real is going to remove those who may not connect with you. And that's okay. You see, the problem most are facing is they're going out and trying to get in touch with everyone, trying to solve everyone's problem, trying to offer a solution for everyone. That just doesn't exist. If you want to 10x, literally 10x your results and the success you're giving your clients and your customers, find the right clients and customers. Find the clients and customers who understand your path, understand what you've been through, and say, me too. Because those are the people that you're going to help so much more. And those are the people who are going to be your foundation to the audience that you're building. Transparency is courage. And it's very difficult to tell your story when you start off and you're getting ready to, let's say it's a post, like you're writing it on Facebook. When you're getting ready and to hit the send, that's a huge rush. When you're getting ready to hit that post button, it's a massive rush. Even me, I've got a pretty interesting story, ups, downs, big wins, big losses. I knew I had a compelling story, but saying that, it still scared the hell out of me. I have results, I have a great story, I have everything in theory that would be easy, right? It wasn't. It was hard as hell. And it's gonna be no easier for you. It's probably gonna be harder. But at the end of the day, transparency is courage. Translucency is saying what you want and think people wanna hear, but they're gonna see straight through you. I think a lot of people think that when you're really transparent, you're doing it to connect. And don't get me wrong, you're doing that to connect with your audience. But switch that around and think of it as therapeutic. When you actually write down your story, I mean, I remember when I wrote down my story the first time, it was emotional, it was hard, it was a struggle. It literally took me hours and hours and hours to get through, because I had to keep taking breaks. The truth of doing that is it is so therapeutic. It is a release. It is this weight's being lifted off of you. Now, that's not the hard part though. The hard part isn't telling it, though it's difficult. The hard part is gonna be posting, clicking that button. And I think that's where, and what I did was when I knew I was getting ready to post my story, I went out and told some people who I care about, who are close to me, who want nothing but success for me, and just can you help me get through this? Can you support me through this? And surely they did. Everyone jumped on board and it was a massive success. But not so much, sure, it's a financial win, which is great. Sure, people connected with me, which is amazing. But really, it really got some shit off my chest. And I felt like a weight had been lifted. And that was the biggest win of it all. Transparency takes practice. And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand. That's what they struggle with. If you can just start to get a bit or a piece of your story out there, it gets easier to tell the whole thing. So I don't think if you're struggling to get the whole story out, there aren't areas that you're ready to talk about. That's okay. Being transparent doesn't mean you have to unleash everything and tell it all. Being transparent is what you control. You speak and you talk about what you feel comfortable with. You know, it's kind of like, what's that first door I need to go through to get to the next door? You don't have to give it all away, but don't be afraid to get a little uncomfortable, but you don't have to give it all away out of the gate. A lot of people are faking it. A lot of people are being translucent, as I like to refer to it, instead of transparent. It's because transparency is becoming it's becoming a marketing tactic. And that's the problem, is a lot of people think they're being transparent, but you can see straight through them. You can see that it's always, and I always ask myself when I read a transparent quote or a transparent video, if I'm watching, was that for me or was that for you? And you know, that question alone typically always shows me who's transparent and who's translucent. So am I giving you this information? Am I being vulnerable for my personal gain or for your gain? Will you take something away from this story? Will you take something away from maybe the hardships and my struggles or my wins? And you know, if you ask that question, you can pretty much see through anyone. And that's where I would begin. Hey, hope you enjoyed today's video. Do me a favor, give it a like if you did. Also comment below. Let me know if this resonated with you or if you have any questions that I can help with. Lastly, we're putting out videos every single week and we want to bring our best to you. If you click the subscribe button down below, you're not going to miss another video from us. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.